poison what you will. Win at any cost. It's okay. People, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is like a conundrum. You have the news media, okay? They're dueling it with Sean Spicer all the time from the White House. Very, very interesting. You can sense the friction in the room, okay? The dynamics have all changed. Obama, he's not there anymore. Well, he's not there anymore. I saw him with Branson. He's power sailing. He's out on Branson's Island having a big old ball with that huge veneer smile that he got done when they ripped his teeth out when he was Barry Obama and had those veneers put in. Yeah, they ripped all his teeth out. He's got rotten teeth under there. They shave their teeth down and paste some veneers on there. And he's looking like a happy guy. Good for you. You screwed our country and you're smiling about it still. Good. Man, that's a guy with some cojones. That's what the Spanish people's word for nuts. Like the nutcracker. Yeah. If you have small children, you know what I'm talking about. Good for you. He surfaced and he looks like a happy guy. But anyway, back to the situation, well, not the situation room, back to where they do the press conferences. So, the quibbling over numbers, like, they say Trump fabricates things, sensationalizes things. Whether it's 100 or if it's 400, who cares? In the great scheme of things, who cares? In media, yes, what do? You sensationalize it. It's big time. It's big league. I'm not going to build a small wall, medium wall. I'm going to build a big wall, and it's going to be a beautiful wall. Don't forget, Donald Trump's a businessman. He's learning about all this political stuff, and I think he's doing a pretty good job. People say, well, don't let the press get on your nerves. He's not. He just bypasses the press and does his own press conference via Facebook. And people tune in. Tens of millions of people tune in, and they love it. But you have to clarify these things. They're preoccupied. Forget about all the successes. Forget about all the great things. I saw this ad, or it wasn't an ad. I guess it could have been an ad, but an article, of course, for the New York Times, talking about how many defiant U.S. companies now are deciding, who cares if Donald Trump wants us to build our factories here, and who cares, we're going to move our factories still over to Mexico. That's the American way, and good for you, but don't be surprised when you try to ship it back over here. You're going to have a nice border tax, and you'll be paying it. Fine. There'll be a price to be paid. I say, and I've said for a long time on this program, because we're first, America first, pro-America. To me, it helps to do business in the U.S. because it helps us citizens. It helps our economy. It helps people's morale. And listen, you wouldn't have so many screwballs walking around if they actually had a job. I wonder how they actually have all this time on their hands and get away with all of it because they don't have a job. You think that they would say this was a good thing? Elizabeth Warren would be praising Donald Trump. Nope, you got to bring up the race card. We're in Selma all over again, and that is shameful for sure. Keith Allen, For the People, we'll be back.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com. Now,
I'm a mom, and just like millions of other women, that's why I own guns. We're responsible, we're law-abiding, and we're everything that makes America strong. Every day, we're willing to use a firearm to defend our families. But the media will never tell those stories. If a mom puts a gun to the face of a home-invading thug and makes him run for his life, the story gets buried. But if she's unarmed and murdered, the cameras will be at the scene before the police. It's time for moms like me to speak out. We are the majority. We demand the freedom to defend our families. And we challenge the media to tell the truth about our rights. I'm the National Rifle Association of America, and I'm freedom's safest place.
All right, For the People continues. By the way, our website is forthepeopleshow.com. There's a mobile version, and you can listen to the show if you don't have a radio station. If you have a radio station, remember the frequency that you're listening to it on. Lock that in as a preset so you don't forget it. But we are on demand and also live at noon Eastern time. So if ever you want to listen when you're in your car, you can just listen right there at forthepeopleshow.com or this radio station. But we do both. We try to be available for you. And we got a few announcements about phone calls and all that other stuff. And speaking of phone calls, we have guests coming up here today. She's going to be joining us via the phone. And she's an advisor for healthcare. She's a senior advisor, as a matter of fact, Janet Rich Pittman. And we're going to discuss this Obamacare versus TRUMPCARE. And so if you're a senior, you know somebody that is affected, if you have health care, if you wondered about your health or anything like that, and interesting caveat, she knows something about Alzheimer's and memory, and you got memory problems, specifically maybe dementia prevention specialist. This is what she actually does. She's known as the brain nerd officially, and specifically dementia prevention. So this is something that all of us would probably want to stay tuned, because I tell you what, maybe some of you want to lose your mind, but truthfully speaking, if you have ever experienced somebody losing their mind, it's not a really good thing. You might feel like that, but literally losing your mind. I've known some people that have had loved ones that have lost valuable memories and experiences and all that, where, you know, the loved one, well, you've seen, what was that movie? That where the lady loses her mind. I forget what the name of it is, but it's a big romance movie where the lady loses her mind and they die together. It's called The Notebook. Thank you. And brilliantly produced, a nice love story, but the lady loses her brain, and then Noah cares for her, and they end up in a care facility. I guess their house was actually modified or something like that. But it was a true love story, too, and maybe you're a care provider. But all of this will actually help, and I think resonate with so many of you out there listening. That's you. Our website, again, forthepeopleshow.com. We'll be back with our guest right after this. For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com. Now, For the People has a special opportunity for you. If you own a business and want to gain a national audience that is loyal and will do business with you, imagine being able to get your product and or service into the hands of tens of thousands of people each week. Sponsorship opportunities are now available at rates you can afford. Finally, the show you love with your business supporting what we do in partnership. Start running your commercials today. To contact us, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com.
I'm a mom. And just like millions of other women, that's why I own guns. We're responsible, we're law-abiding, and we're everything that makes America strong. Every day we're willing to use a firearm to defend our families. But the media will never tell those stories. If a mom puts a gun to the face of a home-invading thug and makes him run for his life, the story gets buried. But if she's unarmed and murdered, the cameras will be at the scene before the police. It's time for moms like me to speak out. We are the majority. We demand the freedom to defend our families. And we challenge the media to tell the truth about our rights. I'm the National Rifle Association of America, and I'm freedom's safest place.
If you or someone you care about is a veteran or currently serving in the U.S. military, and you're suffering from symptoms of post-traumatic stress, listen carefully.
Debilitating mood swings, depression, and anxiety are just a fraction of what our brave servicemen and women are fighting to overcome. Fortunately, there is help.
Call 866-966-1020, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Or go to www.realwarriors.net.
Trained personnel are standing by.
Keith Allen and For the People. I had to take that pause because I was kind of looking over, and you know when your food's delivered during the show, I am not going to gross you out and eat my food, but I am smelling fumes. They are smelling absolutely delicious. Something of an Italian mixture, which is great, but I'm just going to have to do the radio show. And the reason I want to do the show and continue on doing this radio broadcast is because we have somebody very important that knows something about this health care, and she goes by the name Janet Rich Pittman, and I love the three names. They're all meaning something, I can guarantee you that, but we're going to discuss what we can expect under President Trump with a billionaire business owner and entrepreneur now tackling our nation's health problems. And I don't do that to say that he's going to make a wreck of this, but I honestly think that he wants to fix it, and a lot of senators on both sides of the equation, Democrat, Republican, even independent, say that there's problems with it. To make some sense out of it, please welcome Janet Rich Pittman to For the People.
Hello, Keith, and you were talking about three names. Well, really, what folks like to call me is the brain nerd, because I'm always going around and talking to people about how to have good brain health and how important that is to have good brain health, especially for seniors.
It is important, and I did mention that before the break, that there's a lot of folks that listen to us that are of that age that I hear from very, very frequently. And it is kind of scary if you see somebody or kind of heard the information as you get older. So later in the broadcast, I do want to dedicate and carve out a little time to discuss those particulars on what we can do, whether you're young or older, young at heart, whatever, ways that we can actually keep what marbles we have left up in our head. Healthcare seems to have been a debacle. I know up down in Phoenix, they're paying premiums that are through the roof. That's one of the big problems. What are problems that are being experienced that you have heard and know about with Obamacare?
Well, I really concentrate on seniors and keeping, like you said earlier, keeping the marbles, keeping the brain cells working and percolating and formulating and producing. And so consequently, really, Obamacare, we hear a lot of negative about Obamacare, but there's really been for seniors, there's been some really good benefits. Basically, the first one is that there's no donut hole. If you remember, seniors would have a donut hole where they could only have a limitation on the amount of prescriptions reported back. So that donut hole has been lifted. So that's a good a good benefit. Also, we seniors were able to experience free healthcare screenings, like free cancer screenings and free diabetes screenings, as well as free flu shots, free